Hi, everyone. Welcome to DevRunner. My name is Paul. I'm an endurance runner and an RRCA certified running coach. And this is Subscriber Spotlight, where I have conversations with inspiring runners to motivate you on your running journey. My guest today is a runner from Helsinki, Finland. He is a YouTube host who delivers running adventures, stunning views, honest, thoughtful gear reviews, and always lots of fun. So it's my pleasure to welcome the host of Running with Marc to the show. Marc, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing?
Yeah, what an introduction. That's got my heart racing and made me nervous to be on this stage right now. But yeah, it's weird to be on the other end of like somebody else's video, but so cool to, well, first of all, meet you, Paul, and I've been following your channel, but also connect with everybody who's watching this video.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here, sir. Your videos are awe-inspiring to me. Like your last set, and I guess your current set, because you've got more coming out of your visit to Chamonix and the UTMB trails, is just like I've literally been watching them and rewatching them on my big screen TV just because it's like so beautiful.
Yeah, I appreciate that extra view count for me, but yeah, it's always like I find that it's like I used to do a bit of photography business, and I always used to find that it's never okay. There is a skill in photography and videography, but it's just being in that place. And you know, some people are not willing to walk 4 kilometers or 4 miles, whatever, up a mountain to go and film a review video or something. So I think I'm just willing to get out there and, as you kind of said, up for an adventure.
Yeah, exactly. You do a great job of it, sir. But I'm just going to kind of go back to my little script here because I want to give everybody a chance to sort of get a quick background on you. I'm hoping you can like share just a short bio, who you are, where you're from, anything that you want the viewers to know about you, like right off the bat.
Cool. Yeah, so I mean, we could be here forever really, but yeah, who I am, I'm British French guy who is now living in Finland and lived in lots of other countries as well. So, you know, my whole life has been uprooted and moved in different places and everything. And I guess maybe that was a little bit of it is part of my identity in a sense of, you know, seeing and enjoying the world and different cultures and different people. And I guess maybe that could be one of the reasons that's brought me into YouTube as well, to kind of connect with different people. But for me, yeah, I'm now living here in Finland, working at Suunto, which makes sports watches, and found like a dream job. It kind of have to pinch myself sometimes because my job is to run in some certain aspects. I'm sure we can touch on that later. But yeah, that's me. I enjoy running, I enjoy being outdoors and having a little bit of a laugh as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I've got a little bit in common with you, not quite so international, but I've done a bunch of jumping around in my adult life too. Just I lived in Canada for almost 20 years and started off in New York, and now I'm down here in the South. So, you know,
yeah, it brings a lot of wealth to the mind in a way, like that traveling and stuff. Absolutely. I'm not saying that the opposite doesn't, because I'm sure it does also, but I'm very grateful and happy with what I've been able to experience so far, and plenty more to come, obviously.
Very cool. I can't wait to see what next, you know, what's coming next. So let me ask you this. I want you to talk a little bit about your athletic background and go back as like far as you want to, like, you know.
Yeah, so like growing up in England, that's where I spent my like childhood really. In England, is very much team sports, kind of like at school. So rugby, football, cricket. I almost said baseball, but we don't play that at all. Hockey, all these things, they're like team sports. So I was always playing like football. I was like crazy playing that as many hours as I could when I was at school and such. But I was never actually really very good at it. Like I had maybe the application and the enthusiasm and the willingness to be the best was there, but maybe skillfully never like the best. So yeah, I was always like what is it you call, like a headless chicken running around the football field, you know, chasing down every ball. And then, you know, actually maybe after 18, going to university and just partying and doing all those types of things, and then finding your feet in the world and what your career is going to bring to you, I kind of like lost track of all sports in a sense. Obviously still being active, doing random stuff and everything, walking. But then I think it was maybe about, I'm like in my mid 30s now, and maybe late 20s, I kind of like started running again, and doing like, I did a lot of, actually all throughout my 20s, done like some road cycling. I used to love, like, well, as being half French, the Tour de France is like huge sport and is amazing. And I got a road bike and did that, and then got into running and all these types of things. So yeah, that's kind of like the evolution. Like right now, what I'm doing is like, well, I don't know. I identify as myself as a runner. Yeah. And that's maybe on the trails and also on the roads and also on the track. I think just running is just so cool. And it's, yeah, it's for everyone, no matter what your shape or size, no matter how fast or slow, where you are, you know, the surface that you're on. And you probably don't even need a pair of shoes really, but obviously now we love them. But yeah, that's where I am now. And obviously I'm working with a sports company, which also kind of ties into that a little bit. So yeah, I guess short, that is not short, but that's where my kind of athletic kind of background per se.
Gotcha. So kind of to dig into that a little bit, I'm kind of wondering, like, you said you started off cycling, you know, because of the French influence, but like, what was it? Was there like a moment that you can point to that sort of tripped that trigger to turn you into a runner? Was there something that where you're like, oh wow, I've got to pursue this more so than other sports?
You know, I think it's not actually like you know, I didn't watch an athlete complete a marathon or something, or it was actually like, I remember trying to do running and then excuse me, quite a few times, and then having some knee problems. And like, then I always thought, I'm not meant to be a runner, I'm meant to be a cyclist. And I always blamed, like, yeah, it's just my body, it's not meant to be like that. And then I saw like a physiotherapist, and for some reason I had enough and wanted to see a physiotherapist, went to see them, and she gave me some exercises, and like, it worked.
Okay.
I did the exercises for like routinely, and it worked, and I was a runner. So all this time I have been a runner. It's just after 2 months, I kind of maybe got some injury and thought, I'm not meant to be running, but I wasn't putting in the consistency or the hard work that does come with running. The hard work is like a bit of a scary word, because people think they actually, you know, it means that you have to go above a certain threshold or zone, but it just means, you know, turning up and repeatedly doing the little things. So yeah, as soon as I started doing that, I realized, hey, you know, this stuff's pretty cool and I'm pretty good at it. Like and like back at school, I was actually part of like the cross country team. It's a bit different in the UK than over in the States, but I was doing running over there, and I got like the best result in the beep test at the whole school and stuff like that. So I always kind of knew that I was, I don't want to say, I don't say in a big headed way, but I was good at it. I had some talent in endurance sports over maybe team sports. So yeah, that's pretty much like, yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. So you were naturally attuned to it, and you kind of realized that at some point then.
Yeah, I would believe that's how I think of it. Yeah.
Cool. So I want to ask you this, just like, since you've begun running as a sort of a regular part of your life, what do you consider the highlights of your running journey so far? And I'm not necessarily talking about like PRs and stuff like that, but just the things that have had the biggest impact, that, you know, that kind of keep you inspired and motivated.
Yeah, it's like quite a, I mean, it's like quite a loaded question because there's so many different angles you could shoot off on there. As you said, like you could go off on PRs or race or finishing a race and stuff. And yeah, I think it's like roots down to that thing that that I overcame, like this injury in me, and overcame that I have total control of how I want to feel and be. And when I do things like running, I feel good. It's not okay. Some runs you are questioning why you're doing that run after like the fourth rep or something. But yeah, okay, let's straight after the run, nobody regrets doing that run. So yeah, it's I think with like one of the things that defines or like what I'm proud of in my running is just running. Like it's pretty cool. Like, but then if we talk on like results wise, like I did an ultra race, Ultra Pyrenees. It's like 100 kilometers with 6,000 meters of vertical gain. I don't know what that is in miles. Sorry, I think, isn't it?
Did you say 60K?
100K.
100K, so 62 miles. Wow.
62 miles, and I think that is 18,000 feet of vertical gain.
Correct, yeah. And
the first year, 2018, I actually didn't finish it. I quit after 60 kilometers. And that one moment is one moment that defines me so much in like when I'm thinking about my own running, because I always think that I quit then. And I know it was there were some physical problems like dehydration and feeling dizzy, but I quit. And that drives me on quite a lot when I'm running now, that I know that I quit that, and I lived with so much, dare I say, regret after that I felt so bad that I didn't seize that opportunity. So now when I'm in a situation of running, I'm trying to seize the opportunity as much as I can and as much as I'm able. And the following year, I finished that race, and it was a really nice feeling to say I finished it after that kind of journey. So yeah, in terms of like results, we're not talking about time there or whatever. Crossing the finish line was just like a huge success.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I love the fact that you point out that you learned so much from that DNF. Like that's something that I think a lot of, especially newer runners, need to learn, that there's no such thing as failure in running. There are setbacks, but as long as you're learning lessons, and it, as you said, as if it motivates you for all your future goals, then it's not a loss. It's just a step along the way. So
yeah, that was one of my goals for 2021, and obviously with COVID at the beginning of it, it kind of disrupted some things, was to fail more. And what I meant by that is by going to more races and attempting more. Quite often I kind of baby wrap, or I don't know what the word is, but like wrap stuff up in, I want to do one perfect race and make a huge build towards it. But I want to do more, go to a 10K, try, and if I blow up after 3K and just jog in or whatever, then that's what it is. But sometimes if you don't try, you'll never find out, right?
Exactly.
So I want to try and do more events, so that I kind of tried to bring that across to 2022. And yeah, whatever, some reasons it hasn't fully gone to plan, but that's also the way things are, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, if you're putting in the effort, in my mind, that's what matters. If you're putting in the mental and the physical energy, you are making progress. Just because it doesn't necessarily show on the day of the big race.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, who cares about?
Yeah, I did that. I did a 2:45 marathon, which I believe I remember you followed along a bit on. The series was 2:45, training for 2:45 XX. Doesn't matter what it ended in, marathon, and it didn't go to plan. I did like 2:59 in the end, but nobody can ever take away my training for that. Like that training was like absolutely insane for me, training for the road marathon like that. And I'm actually really proud of like that training kind of block that I did. So yeah, I'm glad that was over, but it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's funny because I actually rewatched last night. I watched the final video in that series again, and
Yeah.
I was just I recently had exactly the same experience. I was training for a 2:45.
I remember I've watched a few. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate that, sir. But yeah, it kind of blew up in my face. I never got there. And again, it's still, I consider it a huge win with a little bit of distance in time,
Yeah.
so that I could calm myself down. But yeah, I mean, it pointed out what I need to change in my training, what I have to adjust in here, and everybody gets another chance. So
Exactly.
it's never a loss.
100%.
It's just a learning experience. So,
Yeah.
sir, let me ask you this. This is a perfect jumping off point. What motivates you now with your running? What are your future goals?
Yeah. Motivation is like a funny one, right? And like, yeah, we all need it sometimes, but I think I wrote this, I think, in an Instagram post. I'm not very active on there, but that, and someone commented it really nicely, like that it's okay. I'm not good with my words sometimes, but yeah, it's motivation. I don't feel like I need it with running. It's more so about being disciplined. That discipline of getting yourself, like the whole point was like, what gets you out of the door? What gets you out of the door when it's gray, when it's raining, when you're feeling tired? And it's discipline. It's not motivation that gets me out running. And I believe it's like, sometimes I don't even think I feel like motivate. I don't need to be motivated by signing up for a race in the future, or, there's lots of great methods about lots of different people can benefit from using like those things, or watching running YouTubers, or whatever, like those things, or I want to lose 10 kilos over the next year, whatever it is. But for me, my motivation, as I said, is like, just because I enjoy running, so I should do it. Right now, I'm actually like got a bit of an injury, so that is going to fuel even more my motivation per se when I'm able to run again and everything. And that I am lucky enough to be able to do it, and privileged enough to buy like these shoes and go out and run and everything. And that's kind of my motivation. But then obviously I don't say, of course, I do like to push myself and see what I'm physically capable of. So I am like setting myself goals of running a sub 17-minute 5K, or doing that ultra again, but in a better time, or maybe not necessarily better time, but feeling better, like managing it better.
Gotcha.
And also, maybe like just to be consistent and to be injury free is obviously always like the king for any runner. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you're leaving me with a perfect jumping off point for my next question, remaining injury-free. So I'm really interested to know what you do for either strength training and or cross training.
Yeah, I've been like, I've never done any like gym with weights stuff, really. I believe as a runner, like if you don't be so monotonic and just do the same thing and only run, sorry, what I mean is, don't be so monotonic to that you will, if you be so monotonic, you will need to do like a few extra things. But if you are going out walking in the evening, or doing some swimming, like gentle swimming, and just being active and doing other things helps like the body recover, B, you get some like additional strength training from like swimming, your core muscles improve or something. Not that I don't do so much swimming, I'm making it sound like I swim all the time, but I think like strength training wise, I do some, like, and it's like anything I can do at home. I don't need to go to a gym. I can use an elastic band, a foam roller, and a kettlebell, and that's all I need. You know, some lunges, some kettlebell swings, just some like things like that. Or like heel drops on the stairs for your calf muscles, and eccentric exercises. And yeah, I think just those things are good enough to do. And I would say that Tony, this guy called Tony, who I used to work with, and he like does a lot of running, or used to. Sorry, Tony, he doesn't do as much anymore, but he always said, you know, like running helps you to run.
Okay.
It's like, obviously you can't just go from doing 0 to 100 or 200 kilometers every week, but when you just do more running, your body just gets used to that running, and like that's kind of almost like strength training for running if you run.
Yeah,
So,
I'm with you. I mean, it definitely builds upon itself so long as you
yeah.
take it incrementally and very consistently.
But yeah, in the gym, I'm not doing anything like that. Just those things when you have maybe some physio exercises the physio has given to you or something. So
yeah, gotcha. No, from what you've described, it sounds like you're doing plenty. I mean, just the kettlebells and like those calf raises and stuff. Yeah, that goes a long way.
And over the last 3 years living here in Finland, we have like the extremes in the season. So we have the real winter and the real summer. Well, maybe not real summer compared to like Doha or something, but you know, we get nice warm sunshine. But in this winters, I've been not doing as much running and doing some cross-country skiing, which has also been really nice, like cardiovascular wise, and also those leg muscles are working in a different way. Still giving an effort, but you are maybe giving a bit of a rest to all those neuromuscular patterns and tendons from running. But like last year, I tried to do it that I continued like doing 2 or 3 runs every week, just to make sure that the body doesn't forget what it is to feel like running. So yeah.
I got you. That's great. So yeah, it's a natural like seasonal cross training almost.
Exactly.
That's very cool. Okay, Mark, let me switch gears a little bit. I want to ask you actually, what got you interested in starting on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube's been one of these things that it's like a personal development thing for myself, and also like I enjoy in life helping people, and I've always enjoyed both of those things throughout my life. You know, personal development, like putting myself in situations that I don't like so much, because you learn and grow the most. And I'm a very firm believer of, if something's like scary or you need to overcome something, then you need to kind of face it head on. So from the aspect of my personal development, like what other people think of me, maybe when you're walking around holding a camera, or that I want to become more efficient in communication. That's another thing. And then also, you know, it's scary to put yourself out there into the whole world for everybody to see and can point their finger at you. Not that anybody does that. It's full of like the opposite, which is like so nice to see, you know, people like cheering you on and egging you on to, you know, because of the stuff they just love you in a way. And it's like quite like overwhelming sometimes. But yeah, personal development wise, that was one thing for me. And then also, as I said, I just love helping people, and it can be helping somebody pick up a credit card they just dropped on and giving it back to them or whatever. But I've always enjoyed those types of things. So like also if I have some knowledge and if I've learned stuff through my own life, if I can help one person or put a smile, and that's the other thing. There's the third angle from it, that I believe when I was like 8 years old, like when everyone asks, what was the first job? What do you want to be when you grow older? For me, it was to be a comedian. I remember I was always like stand in the back garden, and I'd do like a joke show for like my mum and her friend or something, and I'd be there like reading from like a joke book or something, like knock knock. I'm useless at jokes now, but Yeah, I always liked, like humor and everything. I used to love Robin Williams, and
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, and so if I can help someone or put a smile on someone's face on a day, that's like mission accomplished. So yeah, then when push came to shove, I always, say, oh, I haven't got enough good camera. I haven't, I'm not ready. I don't have an exciting life to share, or I need something big to be able to like kickstart it. I need to travel. I need to do that. It was just like all excuses. And then I just thought one day, okay, I'm just going to try. I'm just going to start. I'm going to try. I can always stop. All right. And yeah, here we are today. And I've also really always enjoyed like the arts side of things, like photography and those type, capturing and trying to create something beautiful in a sense. So yeah. And then as a result of all this YouTube thing, it's also grown as like a personal diary. One day I'll look back and I'll think, hey, yeah, do you remember that time we went to the cottage, or I ran this race or something? So, it does also do something for my own personal satisfaction as well. So yeah,
That's very cool.
I guess I'm sure you can probably relate to many of those things yourself, looking back on your videos or whatever it is. It's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I haven't been at it quite as long as you, but yeah, it's already starting to feel that way. That it's a nice document of where I've been running wise at any rate. And let me just take the opportunity, sir, to say that what you're doing is exciting. It is a lot of fun, and you do bring a lot of value to the running community. So that's the reason I wanted to have you on here. So thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I also try, like with YouTube, to like be myself, because it's the biggest thing that everybody has that nobody else can have. We can all copy Casey Neistat or whoever it is that, the filming techniques and stuff, but nobody else can be me. So I always just try to be as genuine and honest and just be myself. And I think I don't see myself as successful in a sense, but I believe obviously I have been successful. I can't deny it. And I put it down to just, being me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you do a good job of it. You come across as very genuine, and it's fun to follow along because we, as speaking for all the viewers, speaking for myself, that's what I enjoy about you, because you take on these big challenges and you take us to stunningly beautiful places, but it's done in such a personable way that I always feel like I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going out on a backpacking trip with Marc. It's just like, it's just a lot of fun.
That's kind of like, well, it's really nice to hear that feedback, and it's really nice to hear that someone would feel like that, because I guess that's kind of ultimately like how I'd like it to be. Sometimes I take the camera out and I have no clue what I'm going to film. I have like zero idea, and then all of a sudden it comes like the best video ever. And then sometimes I have like this great plan. I'm going to do this. It's going to be, like how to do these warm-up stretches for trail runners or something, film the video. And it's like total, like, I don't know, rubbish in my eyes, but maybe someone got some value out of it. So it doesn't matter, but it's exciting, that kind of thing. And yeah, that's YouTube for you. Like, but you've, as I said, more often you've got something to be able to share that is worth of value to people. Don't let your mind block you, basically. So anybody who wants to start YouTube, just start it.
Yeah, that's the best advice there is just, my wife has even been toying with the idea of maybe starting a channel, and she's doing the classic thing, just of, I've got to get everything perfect first. And I'm like, no, don't just start.
Yeah, I mean, if I look at my first YouTube video, I'll laugh at some of the things, the way that I used to do things, or how I would edit the video, or whatever it is. I think everybody will always be like that, And I don't mean laugh and in a pointing the finger way, going, haha, look at you silly Muppet or something. But it's like laughing out of like, yeah, okay, cool. It's nice to see that progression as well. So
Exactly. So Marc, I want to ask you a question while we're on the subject of sort of self-discovery and sharing value with your viewers. I'm hoping that you can share something that your viewers might not already know about you.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that comes into mind is like at the moment I'm injured, so I haven't put that anywhere out on my channels at all at the moment. I fell when I was running in Chamonix on the last day and like hit my knee like really heavy and my wrist, and like I've only maybe got it to like 90 degrees range of movement at the moment.
Oof.
So that's like the first thing that nobody knows, but that's maybe not the angle you're kind of looking at, you know, like, but yeah, I don't know. I'm quite like open and honest when anybody has a question or wants me to make a video about something. I tell them pretty much straight away, or obviously the things that I do hide from YouTube is like my address and those types of things, just trying to, I don't believe I need to, but why not? So yeah, maybe the story why I initially got into running, I think I've only shared it once on my channel, like when I was like first started, was I got into running because to impress girls. At school there was a girl and who was like part of a trampolining team, and for some reason I wanted to try and impress her, and I got with a friend called Harry, and in the evenings after, because I went to boarding school in England between the ages of 14 and 18 because my parents were traveling, and in the evening with Harry we would go and run laps of like on the roads of like, it was called the island or the continent, and we would run maybe like 5 to 10K every night, because I thought that if she sees me or hears that I'm doing all this running, she'll think, oh wow, Mark's really fit and like really cool, like wow, I'm an athlete or something in a way. And that's the kind of initial reason why maybe I got into running. So it was like to impress girls.
Wow,
I don't know if that still happens now, but
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So wow, I'm happy that the running stuck. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's, let's not tell Emma, my wife, that's why I'm running. But
That's funny. That's funny. Cool. So Mark, if I can, I didn't include this on the question list that I gave to you, but I want to ask, this is just a fun little game that I call this or that. And I'm going to present just like 4 or 5 choices, A or B, and you don't have to justify your answers, but just pick one as quickly as you can, and we'll just move on to the next.
Cool.
So let me ask you this, roads or trails?
Trails. I'm going to go with trails. They're like, I've just got back from Chamonix. How can I not say trails? Yeah. Ask me in 4 months' time, it might be a different answer, but yeah, trails.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, cool. So training or racing?
Training. Awesome. Like it's just the best feeling, and I feel so good. You feel so good for doing the training, and racing is just a byproduct of all that training.
Very good attitude. I love that answer. Next one, 5K or ultra?
Damn. This is like, I've been trying to do a fast 5K for the past 2 or 3 years. Like, as I said, 17:03 is my PB for 5K.
Good for you.
And I know I can get to 16 something. It can be 16:59. So that's been like a big kind of like goal in my mind sometimes to do that. And I've always managed to start the block, but never end it. So maybe my goals have shifted. But yeah, I would probably say ultra there, even though I just said all of that rubbish kind of there, but it's ultra because it's just like you get to enjoy it for longer, and it's not as, well, I don't know, if you're at the top of the field, it is intense, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, ultra.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right. And last one I have for you is run by pace or run by feel?
Yeah. By feel, running by feel, but I will kind of like throw in this, that, you know, running by feel, because running by pace is, I do enjoy doing that as well, actually, to be honest, but I wouldn't base all my training around it, because now I've just moved somewhere which is like super hilly. So I have to do everything by feel, because I can never get consistently flat. So it's definitely by feel. And anybody who is starting running as well, it has to be by feel. So yeah, but the more that you, I guess, become more experienced, the running by pace is a beneficial tool as well, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I love
not so short answers. Sorry.
No, that's exactly what it should be. I love the fact that you pointed out that the more experience you get, that maybe pace becomes more of a factor. But that's good advice for newer runners.
Yeah.
Just getting out there and running slowly.
Yeah,
you're gonna have.
I say that with the pace, because like I did some VO2 max and lactate testing at Finland's Olympic Village here, and I've done it twice. And obviously you have like the mask on, and they're taking blood samples all the time and everything, and you can learn like at the beginning of your training block, very much, what paces, what zones are for your heart rate and your paces are. So then it is beneficial to run by pace if you are trying to do, if you're trying to do a marathon and all. To most people out there, it's not, anything groundbreaking, but, staying within your correct zones is going to help you massively. So running by pace can be, you can feel great, but going in, building up lactate into your bloodstream, and you're not meant to do that. So, it has to be a mix of them in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one thing. You bring up a good point. I'm dying to go and do like a VO2 max test, but yeah, just kind of saving up the pennies right now.
Yeah, I can fully recommend it to anybody who, like yourself, is good at running and enjoys running. It's a nice, well, maybe not nice, but it's a tough experience and invaluable also. So
absolutely. Now, speaking of invaluable, I'm hoping you can share, just kind of sum up, if it's possible, how running has changed your life for the better.
Yeah, I've met loads of cool people and shared lots of great experiences, and spent a hell of a lot more time outdoors than if I wasn't doing running. So I think that's yeah, huge.
That's
made huge, more valuable in my life. So yeah, short and sweet there.
That's a great answer. I'm going to now put you on the spot, and I don't want you to feel like you have to give like the ultimate answer, but share what you would consider one of your favorite pieces of advice for other runners.
Yeah, you've probably heard me say it quite a few times in this talk. Is consistency. You have to be consistent in what you want to do. You want to, get better at juggling. You have to juggle more. Do Rubik's Cube. You have to do Rubik's Cube and practice learning those algorithms. But it's the same with running. You need to do it often. Some days you won't want to do it, but you just go out and you do it. And then at the end, you're happy you did it. And that makes you better for running in the future of your running. We often say we shouldn't look to the future and focus on the now, but it does work that it helps you in the future. But what was the point I was going to say? I've completely frazzled myself there. But the consistency is not necessarily like, I don't want to, with new people into running, I'm not telling people to go and do 2 kilometers every single day. That's not good for somebody who's just starting into running. The consistency might be run 2 or 3 times a week of like run walk, but it then translates exactly the same to a professional athlete, that they have to be consistent and they get out and hit their doubles. They go out in the morning, do their session. In the afternoon, they go out and do their recovery kind of leg spin and everything. They go out because consistency is going to make them a better runner, and that's their ultimate goal. And I think most runners are trying to improve as well. They do have motivation to hit a certain goal or whatever. And the biggest thing is hard work. It's scary. You have to put in the hard work, but that's what boils down to we can't take a pill to get better at running. You have to put in the hard work or be consistent to be more nicer said.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no hack in running. It's basically, just get out there every day, and you use the word beautifully throughout this conversation of just being disciplined on the days when you don't want to get out there, because I always like to point things out for newer runners. Despite what you may think, the more experienced runners and the truly elite runners, it's not like there's some kind of magic pill, or there's nothing about everyone's, certain people's personalities that makes them more attuned where they just can't wait to get out there every day. Sometimes it is a grind, and you just have to sort of force yourself. So that discipline and that consistency, as you said, Mark, is just what it's all about. Just get out there. By the time you're a mile or two into that run, you'll be happy you made it out the door. So great stuff.
Yeah, and if you're in a mile or two in and it's like really not good, then you just turn around and that's it. Like you tried, and if you didn't try at all, then that's the ultimate fail.
Exactly. It's not a fail. It's just your body needs some rest. That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
Cool. So, sir, I really enjoyed this conversation with you. You're just a genuinely nice guy, and so full of just really solid knowledge in the running field. So, I want to give people a chance to know where to find you on your various different social media platforms. So, if you don't mind sharing that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, anybody who wants to find me will find me. No, of course. It's just Running with Marc. You probably search that and hopefully you'll find me. And I'm sure Paul will probably put a link to my YouTube channel or something down below. But yeah, you can. I try to be active on Instagram as well, but I would just say YouTube is the place for me. But yeah, if you want to message me, the reason why I have Instagram is so people can direct message me. Gotcha. If they had a question or something. That's the reason why I have the Instagram account. It's funnily enough, I don't really like social media too much, but I'm doing lots of it because I do enjoy it. It's like a weird kind of loop, but it's a great thing. But at the same time, I just enjoy being outside.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, thank you, sir. And as you said, I will share all of your links below so that people can just get there with a click. And again, I want to thank you for being here. I've been watching you for a couple of years now, and it just keeps getting better. So, everybody just get over to Marc's channel, get yourself subscribed. It's just awesome stuff.
Yeah. Cheers, Paul, and cheers, everyone. Really do appreciate it. It's been nice to be here. It's been pretty cool and nice to follow, people like yourself, your journey as well, and in your running and your YouTube is that equally brings inspiration and motivation to people. You don't realize who you can bring motivation to sometimes. So even myself, I gain it from people like yourself or such as well. So yeah, that's great stuff from you.
Absolutely, hugely appreciated, sir. Thank you. It's, as you were saying, sometimes you don't know if you're reaching anybody, and it's to hear those words from somebody who's as good at it as you are, that means a lot to me. So thank you. I want to just bid you a good night, and thank you for being here, Marc.
Yeah, cheers.
Have a good one.